I am so excited to be interviewing Mercedes today. Mercedes was a student of ours for our 3-day TikTok for Business Challenge in 2021. And she did exactly what I told her to do. And as a result, she made $20,000 in 7 days. But in 2022, she kept going. And her husband and her business, they made well over $1 million from the TikTok platform. Can we give a holla to the TikTok platform? And so we're interviewing her today to hear about what she's doing, how she did it, how she was feeling before it all happened, and then how she's feeling now. Let me just go ahead and read her bio to you so you can get more feel about Mercedes. So Mercedes Eckert is the founder of iShop, a mystery shopping organization that trains and supports mystery shoppers across North America. Y'all thought mystery shoppers were fake? Oh no, they real. She has helped thousands of people learn how to supplement or even replace their full-time income with mystery shopping. Mercedes has been featured in CNBC, The Sun, and other publications for her unique approach to income streaming. She holds a bachelor's degree from IU, where she majored in English, and has received almost a decade of marketing experience from her role as a marketing director at a financial firm in Kentucky. You're going to hear her accent too. I got an accent too. I'm from Kentucky. In between teaching her signature beginners mystery shopping classes, she enjoys spending time with her husband, children, reading a book, or binge watching on the latest episodes of Cobra Kai on Netflix. And so here we go with this week's episode. All right. So welcome, Mercedes. I'm so glad to have you.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, it's going to be a good conversation. I know a lot of your story, but for those people that have no idea who you are, what your story is, can you just go ahead and tell everybody, first of all, like who you are in detail, where you live, well, maybe not specifics, and how you got started in business in general?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll just say I am in Indiana. Okay. Nowhere special. But I started a mystery shopping organization in 2015. Mystery shopping in general is basically the art, is what I like to call it. It's the art of getting paid to shop. And so after finding out what it was and how it worked and becoming a mystery shopper myself, I then pivoted and started teaching classes, and one thing led to another and opened my own mystery shopping organization. And so now what we do is we teach thousands of people across the country and beyond how to legitimately mystery shop.
Yeah. So let's back up a little bit. So what were you doing before you were mystery shopping?
So I actually worked in a financial firm as a marketing director, underneath it was crazy how I got that job, but it was underneath some friends of mine from church that owned a firm. And so they kind of took me under their wing and let me come in and do some marketing for them for a little while.
Oh, wow. Okay. And so then when were you introduced to mystery shopping? How did that happen?
Yeah, so that happened. It was really crazy because I was on a double date with my husband and, it was just one of those things where it was him and his best friend, and then his best friend had another girl, and so we're just talking small talk, and she's like, hey, I want to know if you'd be interested in mystery shopping. And I'm like, what? I'm like, it's real,
Yeah.
And she's like, yes, and I need help. I've got a deadline. And so come to find out, she worked for a mystery shopping company that was local. And she didn't tell me much. Honestly, it was just like, hey, can you go in and, go to this gym and take a tour, pretend you're interested, and we'll pay you just for doing that and giving feedback. And I was like, yeah, I can do that. Right. So I did that, and I was hooked because I couldn't believe that I was able to make, $20 in 15-20 minutes. And it was just so easy, right? Because before that I had done, direct sales, and I'd sold Mary Kay, and I had to put a lot into that, and I had to go and lug my big bag to people's houses and show them how to do makeup, and you didn't always come out making any money. Right. And so this was just a little bit different. So, every time you're going in to shop or, talk to an employee, you're going to get paid for that. And so it was an eye opener for me at the time.
For sure. So tell us about that first experience. Like, what did you have to, maybe not with the location, but what did you have to do? And then at the location, and then when you left it, what happened afterwards?
Yeah, so I had to go to the location, which is it's a gym that everybody knows if I said the name, but I had to go in and stop at the desk, and they say, "Hi, welcome, how can we help you?" And I say, "I'm interested in getting a gym membership. Can you tell me about the plans you have?"
Yeah.
And so from that point on, the associate, they did all the talking. I did all the listening, watching, looking for cleanliness, making sure, hey, did they tell me the mission statement? Did they give me a tour of the entire gym? That sort of thing. So it took me like literally like 15 minutes. The girl gave me like a quick tour. She left me with like a couple pamphlets, and then I was back in my car, and I wrote down my notes and everything, and then I filled out a survey that it was an easy one. It took me like 5 minutes or so, and that was it. Just answering some questions based on my experience that I had, and so I was hooked. I couldn't believe it, and so from that point on, I kept like scheduling more and more. I was like, okay, I'll do this one and that one and this one and that one and this one, and I didn't stop. So
Yeah. So when you first started, how many were you doing in a day?
Oh my gosh. Let's put it this way. I don't even know. The most I've probably done in a day is probably like 20 in one day.
Okay.
But I started making, money where, in one day I was making $600. And I would leave before my kids caught the bus.
Yeah.
And then I would be back by the time they were off the bus and had made $600. And so for me, coming from lower income, I was like, what? Like, this is more than I'm making in a week. This is insane in a day. So it really, really changed my life.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So, because, I've always heard about mystery shoppers. I worked in retail. I worked as a server, and they always talked about there's always shoppers, there's people that are shopping. And so have you ever been made at a shopping, like somebody knew who you were? Like, you ever been made?
I would love to say no, but yes, totally. But you know what? I tell shoppers, and I guess it's a good thing that it has happened to me, so I know how to handle it. So usually the employee will say, "Are you a mystery shopper? You a mystery shopper?" And you just play it off. And I just say, what is that? Huh?
Yeah.
I'm doing a job, so I can't blow my cover. So that's typically what I say. It doesn't happen a lot, but I think that the employees, there's certain things that they know a regular customer isn't asking this question, and so they get tipped off, and some of them get a little bit smart, and some of them are bold, and they'll just ask you. And so I always tell people who are not mystery shoppers, I'm like, if you think you see a mystery shopper, keep your mouth shut.
Oh, wow.
Because it's not good for either of us, right? So you want to get a good grade as an employee, and then the mystery shopper wants to be able to do their job. So yeah.
Okay. So when you got made, would you say anything? Did you say yes, I am, or you just kind of deflected?
No, I deflect. I say,
okay, you did. Okay.
Yeah. What's a mystery shopper?
Okay.
Okay. Kind of like that. I have to put on my acting skills.
For sure. Okay. So then you went from because wait, there's also mystery shopping in like retail stores, but shopping, they're not looking at the food. You're looking at the people and the cleanliness. Is that right?
So each mystery shop is different, and what they want you to look for is different. So you can mystery shop. I mean, yes, I mystery shop restaurants. I went to an NBA basketball game Monday night. It was a mystery shop. So you can mystery shop just about any business. They're all using this. It's a huge industry. And so some of them will say, hey, we want you to pay attention to the actual employee. Maybe you're doing a shop at a bar, and they want you to see, is the bartender stealing money? Like when somebody pays them in cash, are they pocketing some of that? Then you have times where you might go in a restaurant and they will ask you, how did your food taste? Was it cold? Was it hot? So there's a lot of different aspects, and it just depends on the shop what they want you to look for.
Yeah. So when you went to the NBA game, they paid for that, right? Yeah.
And it was good seats too.
Really? So you could see what you needed to see.
Oh yeah. And I take me and my husband go and we love it. It's the best.
I bet your husband is like, yes.
Yes. Yes,
Wow. That is fascinating. Okay. So tell us about, we're gonna talk about your business in a second, but tell us about one of your best and worst shops.
Okay, that's a good. Okay, so I'm gonna have to say one of. Ooh, that's really hard on my. I've got two favorite types of shops. Okay,
Yeah.
and one of them is our apartment shops. So those are where I go in and I pretend to be looking to move. Okay,
Yeah.
the reason why I like those is because they pay pretty good and listen, I like decor. So going into these luxury apartments and seeing how they have it set up, I'm taking pictures like, oh, I can do this in my house, you know?
Yeah, for
So
sure.
I love those. And I also love casino shops.
Oh.
So yeah, I don't like to gamble my own money, but when you do it as a mystery shopper, they actually give you the money to gamble with, honey.
And if you win, it's just your money.
Yes. Yes.
Have you won at a casino shop before?
Yeah, we did one a couple months ago and we made like $60. I mean, it wasn't much,
Yeah.
but hey, the gambling on somebody else's money is great.
Wow. That's okay. And then what about your worst?
Ooh, my worst shop. I'm gonna say I don't know if I have like the worst experience. Do you want to know the worst?
I mean, like you when you
experience or
had
the
you had to be honest about what happened. It was like it was bad.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've only had one shop that was bad.
Oh.
And I've been doing this for a long time. It's really crazy. I get a lot of good experiences. So one time it was a restaurant and they took forever to do the food. They didn't check back with us. I mean, it was just not good service. And that's not even really, I mean, honestly, if you look at it, it's not like super bad. So I honestly don't have bad experiences. Maybe it's where I am and we just have amazing employees over in Indiana because I do some of my mystery shoppers. Now they will have like, oh my gosh, I had a horrible experience. You know, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's never happened to me. So I don't have a super bad story to tell on that one, but I do have one where it was just the customer service wasn't the best.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so now, okay, you've been doing that for a little while. When did this transition from I'm mystery shopping to I'm gonna start a business? Like what happened?
Well, the thing, if you know me, if anybody knows Mercedes, I'm a business person through and through, and I have been since I was a little kid. Okay, and so any opportunity that comes my way, if I think, hey, this can be a business, I might give it a try. And so I think this one actually came organically. I didn't get really the idea of, oh, I'm going to turn this into a business. It's really weird how this worked out because at the time I started mystery shopping, but I had a little side business that I was trying to get going with like babysitting. And my husband, when I started mystery shopping, we started seeing the money come in. And I would post about it, like just on my regular Facebook, like, oh my gosh, I found this new side hustle and I just got paid to do this. And people started messaging me and saying, hey, how did you do that? Like, can you teach me? And I did. I remember the first time I taught a class, there was like 3 people. And it was like, one of them was my cousin and some girl from the internet. Like it was just 3 people. And I charged them $3. I was like, just $3.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking. And I taught it. And then it just spiraled. More people were like knocking on my, hey, can you teach me? And my husband one day, he's like, you need to quit your little other babysitting business that you're trying to get off the ground. And he was like, you need to focus on the mystery shopping. And I'm like, no, nobody's going to really like, this ain't going to be nothing. You know, I really thought that, but he kept encouraging me and it just snowballed. And so it's almost, I really think it was a God thing because it wasn't intentional. Like I'm getting ready to do, you know, it was very organic and natural and blessed from the beginning.
For sure. So when was that he was like, hey, you need to quit that and you need to like start focusing on it? When was that?
2015 is when I first started to do the classes.
Okay, perfect. So now I know where you are today in the business. And so let's just talk about where were you prior to the pandemic with the business, like in revenue?
Okay, so let me think back. So 2020, so the pandemic had hit. I'll be honest. I think I was doing five figures,
Okay.
okay, annually from 20, I believe 2018 was like my first, I believe, hold on, 2017, I believe is when I started hitting five figures a year um, with the business. And fast forward to 2020, I hadn't hit six figures yet, but by the end of 2020, that I hit six figures. And
Okay.
so I was like, oh my gosh, we had like massive growth. I mean,
Mm.
insane. And what's crazy is the pandemic, I was scared. I had this community and everything shut down. And my shoppers were like, oh my gosh, what do we do? Listen, here's what I did. I made my own mystery shops for my people. And I got in touch with other business owners who were still open and was like, hey, let my mystery shoppers come and mystery shop your stores. I wasn't going to let my mystery shoppers suffer. I was scared in the back of my mind that, oh my gosh, what if this completely kills the industry?
Yeah.
It didn't. Right when everything opened back up, so did the shops. And
Yeah.
so, yeah. But yeah, six figures. I hit six figures at the end of by December 31st of 2020. Yeah.
Okay. So what happened in 2020 that caused you to, was that when TikTok was introduced?
I did my first TikTok during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I honestly didn't do anything for the rest of the year with that. Okay. So how did I hit? I'm like sitting here like, how did I hit six figures? I think really it was just my consistency. And
Yeah,
then because of the pandemic, people were looking for extra money.
for sure.
And then I added in, I believe it was like September of 2020, I did Facebook ads. Okay. And I
Mhm.
remember doing Facebook ads and I was really scared like to put money into that. Cause to me, it was like, is this a gamble? I was
Yeah.
getting leads for 50 cents. And I was like, what? This is crazy. So I invested a little bit from at the end. I mean, that was pretty much
Yeah.
fourth quarter of 2020. So that helped me get, over that little hump from the 5 to 6 figure.
Yeah. Okay. So then I remember we came in contact, but I can't remember when it was. When did we start? Because I know you were at one of my 5-day challenges, but when was that?
That was
Oh,
June or July of 2021.
okay.
Okay. And that's when honestly, Kenya, we were living in a little apartment. We sold our house in 2020
Mm.
and we were living in an apartment while our new house was getting built. So literally it was like all within the same few weeks they said your house is ready, you can start moving in. I remember because we were moving and you were advertising for the challenge. And I
Hmm.
was like, I'm just gonna try this. I'm just gonna try it. I haven't been on TikTok since 2020, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
try it. And that's when I signed up to do the challenge.
Okay. So now let's talk about, because here you were, you hadn't been on TikTok since you did the challenge. What was going through your mind as it pertained to you creating content on TikTok?
you know i I'm not camera shy, I guess. Like I'll get on, but I think that number one, I just didn't realize that it was a thing for business people. Like,
Mhm.
it was funny. I thought it was hilarious. And I was a consumer. I was consuming the content. But when it came to like making the content, I didn't know what I didn't know. I think I would
Mhm.
say it that way. And so when I joined your challenge, you made it very clear like you don't got to be funny, you don't have to, just tell them what you do.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what I did.
Yeah. So okay, I remember the story you had told me. You did a video, it went viral, and you made $20,000 in 7 days. What was that video?
The one where I'm in Target and
Uh-huh.
it's super spy. Do you remember the trending
Yes.
sound? Super spy.
Yes.
Yes, it was that one because it was like day one of the challenge. And I had just heard like that sound was trending. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that might be perfect because I'm a mystery shopper.
Correct.
So I went to Target. I had to get something in Target, and I remember I went in line to pay, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna step out of line and go back into one of these aisles and shoot my video. And so I shot it. It only took me a few minutes, and then I came home, sat on the couch. Took me about 15 minutes to edit.
Yeah.
I didn't think anything of it. I put it, that's the best time, right? When you don't even think it's anything. And then you put down the phone, and like a few hours later, I've got thousands of followers. And I'm like, what is going on? And I'm telling my husband, look at this. I'm telling my kids, look at this. Oh my gosh, it just keeps shooting up. And I was like freaking out. And it did not stop for weeks. It just kept climbing and climbing. And the money started pouring in with the sales. Wow. So it was insane.
So what were you selling? What was the thing that they bought?
So what we sell is a beginner's mystery shopping class. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's that simple. That is all you will be able to buy. If you go to our website, that's the only thing we sell. Okay. Yes. Initially. And so we do a free webinar. If you like what you hear and you want to give it a try and go deeper into the mystery shopping industry, then you buy the course. And I call it a class because it's a one night live thing. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I was selling. I do have a membership, but most of those initial sales numbers were coming from that class because of the TikTok.
And how much was the class then?
It's $147.
Was it $147 then too?
Yes. Now you can get a discount, so that makes it $97. So
okay. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I mean, we're talking. So the lowest price point these people were paying was $97. To hit like 20 grand from a $97 offer is insane.
Yes. So what did your husband say when the money started coming in? Because he was the one that kept encouraging you.
I told you. Like he's like, and. He was right. And he's so cool because he'll write like, I remember the first time we did 1,000 in one day. Yeah. And he wrote it like after I got off one of our webinars, he wrote it down. He's like, well, always remember this day. And we just like, he does little cute, like encouraging things like that. And it keeps me going. And, but yeah, he was excited. He's like, okay, if we hit this number, I'm quitting my job. I'm like, yes, a deal.
So when did he quit?
We retired him this year for his 40th birthday.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. Okay. So I know that at this point, so tell everybody what has happened for you at this point in this year. Because right now it's only November of 2022. What has happened and what would you say contributed to what has happened to y'all this year?
Absolutely. So as of the second week of October, we hit $1 million in sales. And I was freaking out like, what? This is nuts. And I have to owe that mainly due to the fact that I took your challenge and started posting videos, these short videos on TikTok. I mean, if I had never, and I think about that, if I had never done that challenge and that video went viral, I don't know, where would I be? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I love how God, just one little decision can change everything.
Yeah. So I always tell people that it's not like some big grandiose thing that happens. It's like these little things that we choose to do. And you were already trying TikTok before me. And then, saw the challenge. And then, you heard the challenge, but then you made a decision. I'm going to try this again. But also in Target, you had this thought of, I'm going to try this. And then because you had been on TikTok watching videos, you even thought of the super spy sound, which then made you go and do that. And so I feel like for you that now that you've seen this is what the simplicity can do, now you don't have to complicate it because you're like, it's not complicated, right?
Right. It's not. Yeah. You just get on there and be yourself. And I am goofy and silly, but I'm not funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And I'm just myself, and don't be ashamed. Like, just get on there and tell them what you do. Tell them what you're selling. What is your expertise? What can you teach somebody? So those are all things you have taught and things that I follow. And that's what my TikTok is made up of, just short videos telling people what I do or little wins I had. Hey, I got paid $60 in 5 minutes to walk into a gas station, just little things like that. And you never know what takes off.
Wow. So do you have like a rock star shopper on your team? Obviously, you probably can't say her name or his name. Do you have a rock star shopper that's like, this person's killing it and you're so proud of them?
Oh, we have a lot.
Really?
Oh, they are killing it. So we have men and women, but it's mainly women. And the majority of them work full time. And when I tell you that on top of their full-time jobs, they're making $1,000 a week. Like my high earners are doing $1,000 a week. I'm like, are y'all serious right now? Like, what? And even, I always like to tell people, because, well, that's your top shoppers. What is your average shopper? Still, my average shoppers do $300-$400 a week on top of their full-time jobs.
Exactly.
So, it's amazing what they're doing. So,
wow, that's incredible. So what would you say to a person? Well, two things. One, if they're thinking about mystery shopping, tell them about how they can connect with you guys. And then if someone, a business owner is here listening and they're thinking about getting on TikTok, what would you say? So first about your business and then about TikTok.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're thinking about mystery shopping, if you're interested in it, if you think getting paid to shop and do the things you're already doing sounds good, then go to our website, sign up for the free webinar, watch it, hear me out. I'll tell you my story and talk a little bit about mystery shopping and how it works. And then you can go from there and decide if it's something that you want to take the leap and try. I will say for business owners that are listening right now and you are hesitating to get on TikTok, get on before it's too late, right? Like get on now. And I think with a lot of times with business owners, I met a lot of business owners and a lot of people are so fearful. And if they can just get over the fear and conquer that fear and be consistent, you will be surprised at what comes your way.
For sure. Absolutely. And so give us the website address again, and we'll put it in the show notes, but just tell us that real quick.
Yeah, it's www.ishopagp.com.
Yep. So ISHOP, A as in apple, P as in pole.
G as
in girl.
Yeah. And then P as in park. It stands for and get paid. So I shop and get paid.
Okay.
Got it.
So those of you guys that are listening, or if you know somebody who is looking for something, because this is in all cities, right? All states and cities.
Oh, all over the world.
All over, because like there's always stores and it's, oh, wow. So wait, so do y'all get paid globally too?
Yeah, you can get paid. Okay, so I personally have not done anything overseas, but I have a girlfriend of mine who's been shopping longer than me. And listen, honey, she travels all over the world for free and does mystery shops in Dubai, in London. Everywhere. I'm like, girl, are you serious? So yes, it's all over.
That is the life, sort of, especially if you're single or it's just you and your man or woman or whatever, and you can travel with them. That's the life, because it's for free. And then you're just getting paid like when you're there too. So that's awesome. Okay. So you guys, it's ishopagp.com. Yep. All right. So Mercedes, thank you so much for being here with us. We'll definitely have you back. We want to know what's going to happen with you in 2023. We know which is going to be even bigger explosion because you have systems, processes, and like the strategic ways of marketing. So we're excited to see what happens with you in 2023.
Thanks for having me, Keenya. It's been a pleasure.
If you want to listen to the podcast, you can just find the Keenya Kelly podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, anywhere you can listen to podcasts.